Hi, dear language learners. There is one magic ingredient of human intelligence. If you pair this one with artificial intelligence, you will just so much boost your memory, your retention. You will actually focus back on your real life. You will actually start to enjoy the whole process of language learning. And with this combination as well, you will see that the focus is really on confidence in articulating and speaking, even though you might be like me in Italian on an A1, A2 beginners level, it doesn't matter. So this magic ingredient will help you so much to overcome procrastination, to overcome that big hurdle at the beginning when you kind of false beginner, starting to be intermediate, when you just don't dare to speak because you feel, no, I haven't learned enough yet. If you want to overcome that, bear with me because this method really works. I am on a challenge here. Those of you who have watched my videos before know this. I'm on a challenge to learn to become fluent in my fifth language within 2 years. So please join me if you want to actually also speak fluently Italian in 2 years time. Join me. All you need to do is subscribe to this channel. I have this channel is for free. You just click the subscribe button and that's it. So on this challenge, I'm actually testing the last the last 30 years of language learning and putting that to the test, combining that with the best of social psychology to actually study in a brain healthy, in a productive, fun, and in an enjoyable way. So bear with me, sign up for this channel, and let's go for another 10 minutes of great Italian learning. Hi, for those of you who are new here, I'm Dr. Alex. I'm a social psychologist and I apply the fundamental laws of social psychology to language learning, which means that the aim is that you're going to become fluent in a much more, first of all, faster, more enjoyable, healthier, and non-procrastination way, if you understand what I mean. The aim is to have you speak with unshakable confidence in no time, no matter which level you're at, because it is possible to speak fluently even if you are, like me, A2, beginner, intermediate level. And there's no need for that intermediate plateau that we all used to suffer from. And I'm the best example. When I learned my first language, my first foreign language at the time, English, I was so much in that trap of intermediate plateau, which means I was already, I knew so many pieces of vocabulary, but I was not able to activate them, to put them together, to actually speak. I didn't have the tools, the methods of doing that, of activating fluency, because studying grammar and studying vocabulary alone does not bring you fluency. It just brings you knowledge of vocabulary and grammar. So once I went through that experience, I realized that took me a whole lot of time. Actually, it was 10 years, which is, well, at the time with the methods we had at this time, that was before internet, beginning to go into the internet age and early 2000s. At that time, we didn't have other means. So it's not to blame the methods of the time. I think it was the best possible with the methods at the time. But then I learned French and I realized, oh, that was quicker. So something was different. Then I became a professional social psychologist and I realized, oh, actually, we need to focus this more on real life conversations. Then I intensified and studied Spanish, and I realized it's no need for 10 years. I mean, the vocabulary and the grammar, they come along. I mean, they are important, but they come last in priority. And I realize now, going into this challenge of Italian, my fifth language, that there's no need for these fun killers, basically, I call them the ones that bring you frustration, they bring you procrastination, and they bring you this kind of Well, yeah, it's the valley of despair where you just say, "Oh, I'm never gonna learn this." There's no need for that, actually. So let's start actually with today's situation. I have prepared a nice situation for you that we all experience when we go to another country or when we meet people who speak the language that we're studying. So this is going to be the situation that you meet somebody who actually speaks Italian and who asks you, "How are you? Nice to meet you. Is this your first time to Italy? Do you enjoy it here? How long have you been here? And how long are you staying?" Now, this magic ingredient that I mentioned at the beginning is actually exactly that. We need to pick a situation that serves us in real life and where we have an intention to actually speak and communicate with people in the new language. So, without the intention, artificial intelligence will not help us. It will help us, but it will do the same like the books in the old days. It will actually bring us sentences that doesn't have meaning to our real life. Sentences that don't have meaning to our real life, they will kind of passively be absorbed, but they won't be activated because they don't have any meaning. And that's the social psychology behind it. You need to have an intention to communicate something. So in my case, the choice of this situation is really done deliberately because I will quite frequently travel to Italy or speak to Italian fluent speakers. And so I need that kind of, those sentence structures to actually be in that situation. So I call them high frequency situations. We need to be prepared for them. So, and as always, I now combine that magic ingredient, the intention of surviving, of communicating in that context with artificial intelligence. And as always, I'm using the voice option of ChatGPT. I'm going to activate this. And please, by the way, dear viewers, as always, I'm so much enjoying exploring all these new tools that are there. If you have recently discovered a new tool of artificial intelligence for language learning, please drop a comment. I'm loving to learn this because for me at the moment, the best one I can actually practice with is ChatGPT, but I'm more than happy to test new ones. So let me know. So let's start. ChatGPT, hello, are you there?
Hello, yes, I'm here. How can I help you today?
We will continue, thank you. We will continue our Italian practice. So today I want to role play with you and practice a situation that is this. You are a fluent Italian speaker. I'm the intermediate, well, beginner intermediate kind of level A2 student of Italian. And we meet, we greet each other. We then say, "Oh, nice to meet you." Then you ask me, "Is this my first time to Italy?" I have to answer, and then you ask me if I like it in the country and how long I would stay. Is that fine with you, ChatGPT?
Sounds great. Let's start. I'll be the Italian speaker. Ciao, piacere di conoscerti. Come ti chiami?
You, oh God, that's great. Mi chiamo, mi chiamo Alexandra. Piacere.
Piacere Alessandra. È la tua prima volta in Italia?
Okay, let me just decipher that. What did you say? Era tu primera volta o è tu primera volta in Italia?
I said, è la tua prima volta in Italia, which means, is it your first time in Italy? You can reply with sì, è la mia prima volta if it is, or no, non è la mia prima volta if it isn't.
Okay, ChatGPT, thank you. But please, can you speak slower? Puoi parlare un po' más lentamente, per favore?
Certo, posso parlare più lentamente. Ho chiesto, è la tua prima volta in Italia? Significa, is it your first time in Italy?
Ah, great. I will write this down. Bear with me, just 1 second.
Of course, take your time.
Thank you.
You're
È
welcome. Let me know when you're ready.
la tua primera volta. Okay, so what was the response again to that?
You can respond with sì, è la mia prima volta if it is your first time. or no, non è la mia prima volta if it isn't.
Okay, thank you. So, dear viewers, this is basically step two. I actually write these sentences down because the repetition and the physical act of actually writing them down makes me memorize. Together with the intention of wanting to communicate, this creates a stronger signal to the brain that this is important, and that actually creates the memory boost. Okay, bear with me, ChatGPT.
That's a fantastic strategy. Writing things down can definitely help reinforce your memory. Take your time and let me know if you need any more help.
That's great, ChatGPT. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. We greet, we say piacere, and then you ask me again the question, okay?
Sure, let's start again. Ciao, piacere di conoscerti. Come ti chiami?
Ciao, piacere anche. Mi chiamo Alessandra e tu? E tu?
Piacere, Alessandra. Io mi chiamo Luca. È la tua prima volta in Italia?
Sì, prima volta in Italia, grazie. E mi piace molto.
Che bello. Sono felice che ti piaccia. Da quanto tempo sei qui?
Da quanto tempo sei qui? Okay, so this means for how long will you stay? Started?
Exactly. You can respond with how long you'll be staying, like sono qui per una settimana. I'm here for a week, or however long you plan to stay.
Okay. Can you ask me the question again? Da quanto tempo sei qui?
Certo, da quanto tempo sei qui?
Sono qui per una settimana.
Ottimo, spero che tu ti diverta durante la tua settimana in Italia.
Okay, let me decipher. So this means spero que tu te diverta. It's very similar to Spanish. So this means I hope that you will have a good time. Is that it?
Yes, exactly. Spero che tu ti diverta means I hope you have a good time. You got it.
Okay, let me repeat that phrase because that's quite useful. Spero che tu ti diverta in tu tiempo in Italia.
Perfetto, stai facendo un ottimo lavoro. Continua così.
Grazie. Grazie mille. You're always so polite, dear ChatGPT. This is really cool, and you're great for motivation as well. Let me give you a compliment of a human being to an artificial being.
Thank you so much, Alessandra. I'm really glad to hear that you're enjoying the practice. You're doing great, and I'm here to help anytime. Keep up the awesome work.
Great. Okay, so let's do this whole dialogue from the beginning again. Can you open the conversation like with the greeting, asking me how I am, and so on and so forth? Let's do it once again. Now I'm more prepared.
Certo, cominciamo di nuovo. Ciao, piacere di conoscerti. Come stai?
Ciao, piacere di conoscerti anche. Sto bene, grazie. Come ti chiami?
Piacere, Alessandra. Io mi chiamo Luca. È la tua prima volta in Italia?
Sì, è mia prima volta in Italia e mi piace molto.
Che bello! Sono felice che ti piaccia. Da quanto tempo sei qui?
Sono qui per una settimana, grazie.
Ottimo! Spero che tu ti diverta durante la tua settimana in Italia.
Grazie, mille grazie. Now, ChatGPT, Luca, how can we actually now say goodbye? I wish you a nice day. Goodbye.
To say goodbye, you can say arrivederci or ciao. If you want to wish someone a nice day, you can say buona giornata. So you could say arrivederci, buona giornata.
Okay, and how can I say it has been a pleasure meeting you?
You can say è stato un piacere conoscerti. That means it has been a pleasure meeting you.
È stato un piacere conoscerti. Conoscerti? Can you pronounce the verb again, conoscerti?
Sure, it's pronounced conoscerti. Great job.
Ok, è stato un piacere conoscerti. Buona giornata, ciao.
Perfetto, è stato un piacere parlare con te. Buona giornata, ciao.
Grazie, ChatGPT. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Oh, that was awesome. And you know, dear viewers, as always, you get the full transcript of the dialogue that you have practiced, and that actually helps me now if I want to have more repetitions. So let me actually summarize again the three steps you saw. Step one of that method, which is called Everyday Nano, based on social psychology, is basically creating intention for real communication. You need to have an intention to say something or to master a situation in your real life. That can only be done by you. I mean, if you prompt ChatGPT in such a way where you just say, give me a lesson, it will choose for you. And that might be like in the old days in the books, that might be sentences that that are not of value for your real life. So you need to choose the what do you want to communicate. And only with that intention, your brain will be giving to that far more value, far more attention, and that will boost memory and that will boost retention because next time actually you go into that situation, you will remember that experience and you will then say, ah, yes, I remember practicing that, so now I can say that. So the ideal choice of a situation is actually choosing something that you will experience the next day. If it's not the next day, if it's in a month, it doesn't matter. It has to be relevant to your real life. That was step one. Step two is then getting the instruments ready. So you need to prompt artificial intelligence, or in that case, your language teacher as well, if you want to practice with real human beings. You need to actually get real sentence structures that are good for that situation. It doesn't matter how they're conjugated, the verbs, or it doesn't matter the grammar rules behind it. First of all, you need to have the full structure of how the situation, how the dialogue develops before you dive, if you want to clarify anything, into grammar. And step three, as you saw, and I'm doing that with ChatGPT at the moment, is repetitions. You need to repeat at least 7 times before something becomes ingrained in your memory. And so, what I tend to do as well is over the course of the day, I have written now these sentences down. I tend to repeat them out loud and test them on other people who speak Italian, obviously, to see if this makes sense and to see if I can sound in such a way that I can be understood. So, dear viewers, as always, leave me comments. Which level of Italian are you on? If you're up for this challenge, we can do this together. As I said in my previous videos, I had started Italian in the summer of 2024. So now I have more or less half a year of Italian practice, and my aim is to become fluent 27. You know, 27 is the ultimate point in time that I give myself for this channel, for this challenge. So drop me a comment if you're up for this challenge because I love YouTube for that in terms of doing learning challenges in communities. And also, I'm passionate about sharing these social psychological secrets with you because that brings me a huge amount of joy of actually sharing that with you so you don't have to suffer through the same kind of typical language learning mistakes that I unfortunately had to go through at the time. But as I said in the beginning, no offense to anyone, at the time we didn't have the means and the technology and the methods and the knowledge we have today. So thanks for watching. It was lovely that you have spent this moment with me, and see you next week in the next video.